Hi, my name is Skylar Church. I am a California real estate broker, but I am also a sales manager at Accredited Real Estate Schools. I have their information up there if you're interested in it. But today I want to talk about maintaining a license. So once you get your salesperson or your brokers, the continuing education to make sure you keep it up and going. So for that, we have some information for you. So a California real estate license is valid for 4 years. Once you paid your fees and you got your license, it's good for 4, and you have an expiration date that the Bureau will provide you. So you can practice within those 4 years, and then, however, once that license expires, you cannot practice. That is an expired license. Some people think, oh, I had a license, I just forgot it. No, the Bureau is very strict. Once that expires, you cannot practice. So it's a very, very good idea to be cognizant of your expiration date with the Bureau. The Bureau does notify you, and a lot of schools send out information saying, hey, you know, your continuing education time, all that stuff. So you will be well aware of it. Just make sure that you do the continuing education and you submit everything to the Bureau if you are practicing at that time, so you can still practice. And then, so to renew the license, that continuing education, the Bureau has where you have to, the stipulates basically that it's 45 hours of continuing education for California you have to complete. And you can complete it anytime within the preceding 4 years of your expiration date. So, you know, even if your license expires you just basically renewed it and it's good for 4 years, you can do it with any time within those 4 years. Just know that if the law does change for what is required, you may have to do more courses or something like that if something were to change, but it's always great to have that continuing education done and over with so you have it. And so when you does come that time to renew with the Bureau, they're good to go. Okay, so we have this really great diagram of the process of continuing education and maintaining a license. So once you receive your license, that's good for 4 years. You have your expiration date at that 4-year mark. And anytime within that time frame, you're able to do your continuing education. However, within that 4 years, after you've expired, you cannot practice after that. But the Bureau is lenient on the thing of they do give you a 2-year grace period from expiration date to complete the continuing education, pay the fees to the Bureau to renew the license, as well as the late fees since you didn't do it within that 4-year time. You can then go and reinstate that license and go keep practicing. So that's the cool thing that they do allow is that 2-year grace period. So you just know you can't practice within that grace period because your license is expired. But you can complete the continuing education within that time frame. Do that, and once you've done it, you can submit the stuff to the Bureau. Just know, if for some reason you surpass that 2-year grace period, you are now completely expired. The Bureau says, well, you know, now if you want to get your license again, you have to meet all the new requirements and you have to retake the state exam, which we've had a lot of people who, when the market crashed, like, I don't want to practice, I don't want it, but now they're really wanting their license again. And so they're now having to restudy for that state test, send in all the new paperwork. And really, they're always saying, no, I should have kept my license, I should have kept it. And so if you can, once you get that license, even though you still have to pay the Bureau every 4 years and do the CE, it's really worth it because whenever you might need to practice, you could. And you don't have to go about all these steps and the few months of waiting to get that license going again. So just know, and then you can't just do it once and you're good. You do this every 4 years. So every 4 years you have to do it. And it's pretty much the same continuing ed type of feel. It's just different topics are covered, of course, but you have to do that every 4 year. Even if you at that 4-year mark, you've renewed it, you got a new expiration date, that's 4 years out, and you have to do your CE again, and then pay the fees, and then you just keep reiterating. So never-ending process. So that's the good thing. The one thing, though, that I will inform you of, for continuing education, we're going to go into a little bit later, but if you are 70 years of age or older, and you've been in the business for 30 years, of licensed for 30 years, and it's been with no deficiencies, you've never renewed late or something, there is an exemption from where you don't have to do continuing education, and you can call the Bureau or Accredited for more information on that. But most everybody always has to do continuing ed. There's really no way around it. So just know that. Now, the actual continuing education, these are the requirements by the Bureau of Real Estate. So you are required to do 18 hours of consumer protection. Then you have to do 12 hours of either consumer protection or consumer services. So that equals 30 hours. And then you have a remaining 15 hours that you have to do. And those 15 hours has to cover course topics of agency, ethics, trust fund, fair housing, risk management. And then for certain licensees, this new course requirement of management and supervision. So then overall, that'll equate to the 45 hours. And so what that 15 hours, those remaining 15 hours, who needs what and what course and when and what, it varies. It depends on the type of license, salesperson or broker, and also how long you've been licensed. If this is your first renewal, if it's your subsequent renewal, it depends. So what we have here is if you are a first-time salesperson renewal, you still need to do that 30 hours of consumer protection, that kind of stuff. But the 15 hours, you need individual courses of agency, ethics, trust fund, fair housing, and risk management. That's it. So you just need those 5 courses. However, if you are a broker renewing for the first time, you now need courses of agency, ethics, trust fund, fair housing, risk management, but also that new course of management and supervision. So that is required there. Now, if you are a salesperson or a broker renewing for the subsequent time, then you have 2 options. You have the ability to where you could do the individual courses of agency, ethics, trust fund, fair housing, risk management, and management and supervision, or they give you an idea where you're like, okay, you could do that, or you could do a 8-hour survey course, but then that doesn't equate to 45 hours. That's what, 30 plus 8, that's 38, where's the remaining 7? Then they're like, oh, you have to do 7 hours of either consumer protection, consumer services. So it gets really complicated. And Accredited, they offer their own continuing education that you could do, and they break it down, and we know exactly what you need. So check us out, and we got you covered. I have the information below as well as the link. So if you want to order for continuing ed, we got you covered for this, no matter if you're a first-time salesperson, first-time broker, or salesperson or broker that's renewing for the subsequent time. We know what you need, and we're going to make sure you got it covered. So call us with any questions, or always call the Bureau, because I am not the Bureau of Real Estate. I'm not affiliated or associated with them in any way. So here's their contact information if you want current, complete, and up-to-date information. I'm just here to provide general information on the process. So if you have questions and I can help you out with it, comment below and I can see if we can get, I'll respond, or maybe a representative, so we can get you answered on this. Thanks for watching, and I'm Skylar with Accredited Real Estate Schools.